I heard a knock up on my door the other day. I opened it to find that staring in my face. The fear of mortal stalking still reverberates. Everywhere I go, I drag this coffin just in case. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I am coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI, DEFFINITY, DEVVE, daCAT, SHIRO update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If not, welcome back. I love you all. Okay, oh, almost knocked over the water there. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. We got a bit to go over today. It's not going to be a 2-hour video like last night. It'll be maybe like 1.5 hours, depending on how quickly we get through the news. Not as much to go over, but let's take a look at Bitcoin here first, just to see where the market's at. And doing all right. We had reclaimed 85. We almost went to, no, we were like 85.6 at one point. Yeah, we're like 85.62 at one point, at 85.3 right now. So really wasn't I mean, the Dow, the last 3 days, it was like the best week the Dow had ever had. You were on a 3,000 point gain on Wednesday, which is like the best day ever, followed by a 2,000 point loss on that Thursday. It's like, okay, are we gonna erase all of the gains that we had? But no, we were up like another 750, 800 points over on Friday. So it did wind up being like a 17 to 800 point week. And again, it's just super, super volatile. A lot of stuff that really happens when things are volatile is, I know there's most people are like, all right, volatile. Some traders get like, yeah, this is awesome. We're gonna trade everything, and that's really good for referral codes. Whereas if you have a bunch of referral codes out there specifically for the best exchange, aka the DEVVE exchange, link down below, you pray for volatility. You hope for it. You do the rain dance of volatility for that. Why? Because you know that people are going to be trading, and the more that people trade, the more that you make. 60% of those trading fees go to their referral program, which is nuts. Incentivizes us to go in and do that. Again, if you want, link down below. Make up to 60% of the trading. It's insane. Anywho, with volatility comes obviously a lot of volume. Companies like DEFFINITY will do really well because DEFFINITY is like made up of volume. I don't think I have the numbers, and they're not public anyway, even if I do. But I just want to throw out, when's the last time I got an email from them? It was April 9th, so that was actually Wednesday. I don't know if there was a holiday on the Thursday or Friday for them, but it was a relatively light day on the 9th, despite the major volatility up there. I don't have the numbers on anything past that, so I'll keep you guys posted. But let's see what it was on the 8th. I think the 8th was really good. They did a lot more on the 8th than they did on the 9th. But what I like to see is, I guess by the 9th, so it's about, a third of the month there. And I'll tell y'all, on track to still do the multiple hundreds of thousands, per month added to their P&L. Just throwing that out there. Good times. Anyway, so Bitcoin on the whole up 2.5% on the day. Ethereum actually outperforming, up 5% on the day. XRP up 6.9. Everyone comment nice down below at 69. BNB up 2%. Solana up 9.1. Dogecoin up 5. Cardano up 6. Lido Staked up 5. Tron up 1.3. None are really up. I guess Bitcoin Cash is up 10%, but none are really. Pi Network's up 14%. Most of them are not in the double digits. It is a positive day, and most are in the multiple single digits, like 7, 8%. But there was only 3. A Bonk is up 11%. EOS is up 13%. And SEI is up 18%. So there was really only 4 tokens in the top 100 that did, double digits. So again, it was a pretty good day. It wasn't a crazy day, but I feel like I've seen this before, where Friday's good, Saturday's good, and even Sunday, pretty okay up until they go in and they give a, what's that called? They kind of push it down, and it seems to mostly happen on Sunday nights. I don't know what the heck that is. Chat flips here. This way, when Monday morning happens, you have institutions, whoever else, they can buy it really cheap. So that's kind of what I'm expecting, but we'll see. We shall see. What do I do first? I guess Definity, because we talked about them first. So actually continuing their uptrend, up 4.5% on the day to 2.2 cents. The volume is $1,100 though, actually 1180, so closer to 12. Still a $3.4 million market cap. Now, granted, that is not fully diluted. Fully diluted, it is 3.8. But again, I mentioned this the other day, and I want to mention it. Here. Let's take a look at. Oh shoot! Yeah, here it is. Again, sorry for going over this a couple days in a row, but I feel like it's something that definitely needed to be said. Crypto firm Ripple to buy prime broker Hidden Road for 1.25 billion. And I don't know exactly what they're doing in revenues, but this is likely to be one of many of the dozens, plural, dozens of companies that get bought up in the greater bull market, in the blow off top later this year. Now, there is a little bit of debate on when that would be. Like, okay, well, the trade war is going to, go on for several more months. And, the bull market, I don't think the bull market will be erased. I don't think anyone's really thinking that. There might be a few people that might think that. I don't think the bull market is necessarily gone. It is a strange one. However, in 2017, 2018, you had the blow off top really from December through April. So we might get that again. But I don't really think that you're gonna like the bull market is gone. It's just I mean again, the last couple of cycles you had a big shot up, big come down, another big shot up, and that was it. We just haven't gotten that other big shot up yet. Granted, we were suppressed for a long time just because people were worried that Kamala would win and she'd be very anti-crypto. And don't get me wrong, Trump's tariff policies are not helping crypto in the short term. Obviously, the pillars are being built for the foundation of a great crypto bull run, but again, it's just not there yet. Anyway, the point I wanted to bring up from Reuters, where they're talking about Ripple to buy prime broker Hidden Road for 1.25 billion, is that if they were going to do a 20x revenue multiple, they'd be doing about 60 million, and I don't think it'll take Definity that long. I don't think it's going to take them 10 years to do 60 million in revenue. I would say it would take a couple of years, but even if they don't, even if by the end of the year, again, they'll likely be doing 12 to 15 million in volume per added. I'm sorry, 12 to 15 million added to their P&L each year. By the end of the year, they'll have that, obviously divided. They'll be doing $1 million plus a month, and especially in a blow off top, like there is so much money that gets thrown around. I was there, Gandalf. I was there in the last bull market 3,000 years ago. Everyone and their sister was looking to me to do videos. Everyone and their sister was looking to me to, and most of it changed. It was from PFP projects, and then a lot are meme coins now. But again, I don't really do anything unless there's an actual business behind it. Everyone has money in a bull market. There are billions of dollars raised, hundreds of billions of dollars, and that trickles down, and it trickles down to a lot of these. You don't even need to be a VC. You just need to be someone who's like, oh, you're in, like, how a lot of the times it works is that there'll be a lot of these liquidity pools. VCs will get in charge of it, and they'll talk to these KOLs that act like they know what they're doing, because that little bit of knowledge is very dangerous. Like, oh, you're in NFTs? Yeah, let's throw a couple $1 million at these guys. And again, it's really easy to go in, and I remember it was Caloscope. They had like built a showroom, and it was similar to VeVe. Like, well, you could actually walk outside the showroom, same as us, but we have these cool steps, we have this. And I was like, yeah, that is cool. I don't know what collectibles they had or anything, but they did. They built the showroom. Like, hey, this is really cool. I guarantee you, Caloscope, and I'm sure they did, but anyone like Caloscope could have gone on and said, yeah, actually, this is our first steps towards the metaverse. We're into NFTs already. And this is the first step. Like, how And all it takes is a 30-second demo and somebody that's wide-eyed and just say like, let your imagination take over. Like close your eyes and let's say like they're 45 years old, wind the clocks back 40 years. And you just get your Nintendo Entertainment System. And you have Mario and Duck Hunt. And on Mario, it's like, okay, well, I beat this level, get to this little tiny castle here. I go to this super scary thing. No. And you just wonder how many levels are there. You wonder how many secrets are there. You find out what warp pipes are. You found out if you collect 100 coins, you get a free life. And it's like, what other secrets are there that you're not discovering? There's a whole new world out there. Now picture that for this, but you're not limited to just 2D side scrolling. Your limits are only your imagination. They throw millions at it. And I guarantee you a lot of these companies did. The same thing is going to happen. It still could with NFTs and metaverses because, that's already ran last time. So will it run as hard this time? I'm not sure. But when you have companies say like, hey, we're not just doing, I don't know, like 9 figures a month in volume, because like a lot of the margins on these things are very, very small. But if DEFINITY can go to these companies and be like, guys, what we're doing here, maybe we're not doing as much, revenue or how much as the Hidden Road is, and I have no idea what they're doing. I'm going to guess 60 million a year. But even if they were doing a third of that, and they start doing like 20 million a year, by the end of this year, let's say 15, a 20x multiple of that is $300 million. And that and that's just what it should be. As we all know, things go to where they should not go. And at a $300-ish million market cap, just where it should be, DEFINITY's market cap is like I said, 3.5 million. So figure that's like a 90-ish x to start, not including the blow off top. If a company is valued at 300 million, the crypto is probably going to be valued a lot higher. Again, VeVe last time was, I don't know, $2 to $3 billion market cap, and the token went to, well, I think the token actually went to like 3 billion, so that makes sense. But a lot of times you don't have that. Oh yeah, the company's worth 3 billion, so the token's gonna be worth 3 billion. A lot of times the token goes way crazy. And again, we don't know what type of multiple. I'm guessing 20, but could you imagine if it was like 50x multiple? 50x multiple. Let me think 1 second here. Billion. Yeah, that'd be nuts. Sorry, 1 second here. Could you imagine if they were only doing 25 million? That would have been insane. Anyway, let's look at some comments here. Bill Gardner says second. Who was first? Bill Gardner. Who was first? Oh, Mark Sajja saying good evening. I'm saying today's trending product is Trader Joe mini tote bag. What? I guess that's in the city, New York City, I'm guessing. Anyway, let's go past the DEFINITY there. Let's go to DEVVE here real quick. Not really much to report on DEVVE. I do have a little bit. So it's up 3.7% today, over on 71 cents on the day, $373,000 in volume, so not a lot. Let's see if there was anything meaningful in the Telegram that bank would be establishing. You have somebody saying, talking about fair trade organizations, saying, I much more prefer a partnership with a smaller but well-established bank as DEVVE than juggernauts such as Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, which focuses on their interests more than their customers. On a personal note, this partnership with a good friend of mine working for the finance arm of BNP Paribas, he knows DEVVE extremely well. He made a few calls and immediately bought DEVVE afterwards. I can't tell more details because at this stage would be only speculation stemming from a personal conversation, but this partnership is 10 orders of magnitude bigger than it has been perceived right now. I'm not going to lie, I agree 100% there. It says, have you ever heard of a well-established investment bank that a crypto project for giving them the chance to finally offer DeFi products and yields to their clients? That's kind of a game-changing innovation DEVVE and DEVVE Exchange are currently bringing to the table. And yeah, agreed. It says, well, I think the bank representative made it pretty clear just how significant this partnership is. DEVVE Exchange now has all of these licenses necessary to offer DeFi products throughout Europe. That puts them instantly as S tier. Combine that with their tech, and it's God tier. Yeah, agreed. Agreed there. So that's DEVVE. Let's take a look at what we got here. Let's do some SHIRO, shall we? I was in a space yesterday, and no, SHIRO's up 6% on the day. Nice. To $11.6 million market cap, over 2 million in volume. That a lot of that does come from the green wall that they're doing, where they say, "Did I just? Yeah, torpedo skin. Ooh, that hurts." I'm gonna have to put something on that later. There was a space yesterday, and I think SHIRO was co-hosting, and they were talking. I mean, I don't know what they were talking about before I got there. I think they're having another one tonight. Oh God, I don't know if they're having one tonight. Oh, it's Pink Moon night tonight. Also, happy birthday, Rudy. Name Coast. It's his birthday today. I texted him. That mother flapper didn't answer me. Anyway, also the anniversary of the OMI logo dropping. Thought that was nice. Yeah, there was the SHIRO, the 60,000 follower SHIRO. They were co-hosting the space with a guy named Pablo. Pablo was also hosting that space and was able to go in and one, just talk about SHIRO, which I didn't really need to. SHIRO was legit co-hosting the space. But again, they sponsor the channel, and anytime they're in a space, got to go in and represent and get that bread. Now, obviously, I'll do that to other spaces as well. Like any type of meme coin space, I'll go in and shield daCAT and SHIRO. Not because, again, I own the daCAT piece, so it's not like there's money changing hands there. But for SHIRO, again, I wouldn't have done it if they were just a meme coin. But what they're doing is pretty incredible, and it's something that I wish that I'm going to make happen for daCAT as well. Really great group of people there, and I'll go in and I finally got to meet one of the other heads of SHIRO, so that was really cool. And then daCAT, they are up 1.7% on the day, actually 1,900 in volume, so it's actually better than they usually have. $460,000 market cap right now. Oh god, hiccups. That wasn't a hiccup, I burped. And finally, let's get to OMI. OMI up 0.5% on the day. They are number 499. They actually just had a wicked spike going from 0.00209 to 0.00215. It's still within the parameters of the day, but they went from like the bottom of their chart to like the top relatively quickly. So there was a bit of buy pressure at 0.00209. 2 million in volume on the day, still only $57 million market cap. But that's the thing, though. It's like, yeah, DEFINITY is adding more to their P&L per month than VeVe, and DEFINITY is a $3.5 million market cap, and OMI is a $58 million market cap. So I'm not saying like, wait, Chavez, are you saying that OMI should be at a $3.5 million market cap because they're making less than DEFINITY? No, I'm not saying at all. I think OMI is still pretty undervalued, which means I think DEFINITY is stupid undervalued. But that being said, yeah, that is a concern when you go in and take a look at kind of what they have. Like VeVe had this cushion for such a long time. Like they made like gross like $400 million in like 2.5 years, right? And granted, since then they've had a large war chest, but it's obviously been dwindling a bit. And especially when a big drop like Blackpink, and this is what I'll go over this. The usership has been down. The revenue's been down. Again, they still likely have a large amount of comfort, like probably a couple years where they could still operate. Granted, I don't know how many employees they have. It's probably around 100, if not more. They are constantly hiring, but I'm also betting that they are firing as well. That a lot of jobs are being disestablished every couple of months, because that's generally how a lot of companies and CEOs do it. They say, okay, we're going to go in and look at the bottom 10%, every quarter, and either give them a chance to get it together or they're gone. So there is probably a lot more efficiency that's happening, but they've had multiple tests about this where they look at a drop, and again, I'll use this example again because I've used it plenty of times, where Running Man outperformed Lamborghini, where the Epico thing with VeVe Magic and My Collectibles and Old Rhubarb, that outsold Lamborghini. Running Man outsold Lamborghini. They outsold Blackpink. Blackpink did a drop today where they grossed like $12,000. They might have grossed a little bit more by now. These numbers are 3 hours old, but as of 5:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they had grossed just over $12,000. Now, granted, it's only 2 of the girls. It's not all of them. And it's like, okay, well, Chavez, you're going over these numbers here, and the Epico drop with the VeVe people that did like 50,000, and Running Man did like 38, Lamborghini did like 25, maybe close to 30 now. But like, why? Well, the Running Man, and they've done that twice. This company, they have physical products that they have fidgetals. Funko, 400,000 fidgetals. Anything that tends to have fidgetals tends to do really well. And I'm not saying that they'll never be able to do it with Blackpink, but let me, just for example, go on eBay here. Blackpink signed poster, because it might be really expensive, and it is. A Blackpink signed poster looks like $175. A square up all member is 200. But so I can, how many? There's probably a good amount of these. You could have one of just Jenny for 40. Here's another one for 330. So there's not a ton of these, but there's enough of them where they could go in and say, hey, we're going to Jenny Lisa. Oh, there's another one. Oh, it's a reprint. That's why it's only $14. But there's enough of these out there where they can get 10 of them. I mean, to get like, if it's averaging going to be like over $200, they could get 10 of them for under 2,500. It's like, Chavez, they only gross 12,500. Why would they spend 20% of their gross revenue to hand out physical? Because if you were to go in and say like, hey, if you collect all of these from the store, you will get a signed poster. It would probably be worth it for people to go in and spend. Now, granted, again, it was only 2 of the girls that happened to be there today. And they were, I think, the less popular girls of the 2. They all have like 50 million followers on Instagram, whatever, and that's fine. So even the lesser popular ones are still pretty freaking popular. Granted, I don't know which ones had that. I think like half of them, they all did some. This was like 10 years ago. It came out like an ex-employee released a video of them like where the YG Entertainment is literally telling them to sing the song, and they happen to sing a song with a slur in it. But again, like half of them didn't know English at the time. It was 10 years ago. They were telling them to do it for the audition. I don't even know if that's really a factor here, but I think that if you go in and they were to offer something physical like they have for Running Man, like granted tomorrow, now let's say by this time tomorrow, the drop today doesn't do 12,000. Let's say it does 15,000, and the drop tomorrow does 20,000. That's combined. That's 35,000. Yeah, that is much better than what than some other stuff that has been happening. But again, it is Blackpink, and granted, these aren't really first appearances, but they are animated. Some of them, they are cool, and again, this what they're doing now. Even if they go out and they can do, let's say by this time tomorrow they do 15,000 from this drop and 20,000 from tomorrow because it's more popular. Drop tomorrow, it's 35,000, and that's really not bad. But I can't help but think that how much better it would have been if they were to go in and say, like, and I'm not even talking about having them in the contract, hey, you have to sign like just 20 posters, which probably shouldn't be that hard, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. They're super high demand. I don't know how much it costs to freaking get these guys in the first place. Um, I mean, it's apparently really freaking hard because when Ben was at Binance, they were having Binance and Blackpink were having a thing for NFTs, and VeVe got them before Binance. So apparently, it's really hard to get these girls for anything. That being said, yeah, you could spend $2,500. You could say like, hey, to the first 10 people that get all of these things from the store, you're going to be able to go in and get a signed poster, and you don't know which one it's going to be. I think it would have done quite a bit better because, like, despite it doing 12, let's say 13,000 by now, in gross revenue, this is not their profit. There's only like a couple hundred of these had sold from each. Yeah, so let's say Jenny. Yeah, 4,400, which means 4,350 because the VeVe kept 50, down to 4,053. So it's 297. And how many of those were from multiple people or how many of those were from the same person trying to go and get the uncommon and the secret rare? Because that's how you get the airdrop. You have to have gotten all of the sets. And if you get all of the sets from the store, then you get the airdrop. We don't know what the airdrop is. So I hope it's really good, because you have to essentially gamble. Like, what are the odds of getting the secret rare on here from the drop? Let's take a look. And I'm not trying to like knock VeVe on this. Like, you have to try different things to see what works. But it just trying to recognize that it is kind of hard. Does it even give the odds of the secret rare? I don't think it does. But yeah, only 600, which means 550 of these. So only 24 of the secret rare have been gotten right now. And that could be 24 different people. It could be, 20 different people, but there are a couple doubles. We're not sure. But that can get expensive after a while. Let's say it costs, six tries to get the secret rare. Okay, well, it's 15 times 6. Okay, it's $90. Okay, well, there's 2 of these drops, so okay, it's actually 180. Well, actually, there's 2 more girls tomorrow. Okay, so that's 360, and yeah, $360 to get multiple of these things, and that's if you get it 1 out of every 6 polls, which I'm not sure you do. That is actually not the case. It's probably more like 1 in like 12 polls, but it's at least 1 in 10. But it's definitely more. But even at 1 in 10, that's $600 if it was 1 in 10, and it's probably 1 in 11, 1 in 12. $600 to get that airdrop. Now, granted, the airdrop might be really cool. Like, it's just not like it was in 2021, where people are just like, yep, $400 for 1 of 1,000 Spider-Man, and it goes off in a second, less than a second. Now obviously they've, you have a little bit of the chase here, you have the crystal, and again, there is mystery about that airdrop. Like, what is it? Could it be concert tickets? Could it be a physical? Well, it is an airdrop, so I don't think it's gonna be anything physical. Maybe it is a type of digital NFT, but you could redeem physical concert tickets for it. But again, if it was that cool, then again, if it was that cool, they probably would have, or at least should have, given that information beforehand to get people hyped. The mystery is cool. I like that. And obviously I'm nitpicking a little bit here, but I really there's so much money left on the table here that I think a phygital aspect, even if they were to take an extra $2,500 and say the first 10 people to get, all of them, like the airdrop, again, you could have 550 airdrops. So that doesn't, if they added that phygital aspect of saying the first 10 people to complete these sets, they're the ones that are going to get the, that phygital airdrop of the signed posters. That doesn't take away from the airdrop that they're doing, because that airdrop they're doing is up to 550 of them. So I really think that they should have done that. Now, I'm sure there's probably multiple reasons why they didn't do that. Maybe they just wanted to test, like, hey, you know what, Chavez, we've heard this theory before that phygital makes, our sales go stonks, but we want to test it out. And, if we can't do it with Blackpink, if we can't sell Blackpink without a phygital aspect, then we know for sure 100% you're right. So again, that's just kind of my thoughts on that, on the sales data for the Blackpink drop. Again, grossing in, well, they've had comics on VeVe Comics do as good as this, where again, if they sell out, okay, it's 1,000, let's say like $10, okay, it's 10,000, really 9,900 because they keep 10 comics, but there are certain comics on VeVe Comics that do as well as this. And that just, it kind of irks me that they haven't figured it out yet. Now, again, it's literally a $1 billion question. How do you take the fans of Blackpink and onboard them onto VeVe? That is insanely hard. All of these girls have 50 to 100 plus million followers on Instagram, and they all shared it on their Instagrams on their first appearance drop last year, when last year was a little bit of a better market for VeVe than it is right now. So you had all 4 girls share an ad on their Instagram. You had the Blackpink official TikTok talk about it, and it did really next to nothing. So I understand the obscene, harsh realities of how difficult it is to onboard people to this platform. But I think that we do have that answer, or at least part of the solution, with the Phigitals. And I'm a little, now again, there's probably multiple reasons why they either didn't or couldn't do that. Maybe they have it, Blackpink has in their contracts, actually, you can't do that because of X, Y, and Z, whatever. Or they thought, like, hey, we're not sure how this is going to do. This is not a first appearance. These are a little more chibi-like. They're not these high-end, digital ones like they were last time. So we don't really want to, and last time really didn't do that well. So we don't really want to spend that extra money on the chance. Chavez, like, it's nice that you're loose with other people's money and their pocketbooks. So yeah, just spend $2,500 with no guarantee that it raises those sales. But I think that in this case, that risk would have been worth it. And I would have been like, hey, like, let's try it. Because let's say if they did it and then they did 20,000 today, as opposed to like the 12 or 13,000 that they did in gross volume, like, well, how would they know? It's like, okay, well, we tried it, Chavez, your idea, and Running Man still outperformed. This is your 2,500, it cost us an additional 2,500. We still didn't sell a lot. So like, I understand it's really hard to go back and do that and do those necessary calculations and back of the napkin math. So again, it's really easy for me to go through VeVe's pocketbooks, like, yeah, just spend an extra 2,500 doing this. And it's like, okay, well, that extra 2,500 could go to X amount of other things. I mean, they're doing so many live events this year. They're doing London, they're doing Lisbon, and obviously New York and San Diego. And then I don't know if they're officially going to Vegas. I think they are. But yeah, if VeVe was doing the revenue that it was doing, even just last year, I don't think OMI would have fallen this far. But the fact that the revenues have gone down so significantly, I think that is, now obviously, again, they launched a metaverse, they have VeVe, like, all of this stuff, like, none of this is priced in, because like I said yesterday, there's not a lot of smart money in crypto. Like, when you have that token that I talked about the other day called retard finance, and it legit did 75x in one day for zero reason other than memes. Yeah, there's still a lot of dumb money in crypto. Now, obviously, somebody would be like, "Well, Chavez, I put in $1,000 and now I have $75,000. So who's the dumb one here, Chavez?" Like, fair point, fair point. You played it well. And then that Bitcoin I was talking about the other day, but yeah. So I know that NFTs aren't really in the narrative right now. They're completely out of the narrative. So are the metaverses. This will all pay off at some point. And just when is that going to be? I don't know. Likely end of the year. We shall see. Meta Robinson says, I hope you're well. What are your thoughts on OMI short term, medium term? Short term, the next like month or two, really not good. The next 3 to 6 months, it's going to be hit or miss. So it just keeps getting worse and worse each month that passes for OMI. It's very difficult to stay positive. So again, I just did a 15-minute thing on declining revenues, declining usership, and obviously people getting like there's people capitulating on OMI like every day. Like that's why maybe not every day, maybe like every week, multiple per month, and that's why you see the price going down. So again, at some point that will reverse. That will be a harsh reverse. That is going to come back with a vengeance. But again, we just don't know when. And the team I think is doing pretty much everything right. It's just, yeah, I know it would suck to raise money down here. But yeah, I'll sell part of the company because now the value is so low. But again, I'm talking for years how I wish they would have raised money. And again, it's going to be very hard down here to do that because the revenues don't justify a lot of it. However, even if they just get like 10 million and then just go ape. And now obviously you have to have a plan for what to do with that. The fundamentals are still there, but it's like, do you really want to go in and do heavy marketing in this horrendous market that you have right now? Probably not. You probably want to wait for that. So I think, unfortunately, you do have to take that wait and see approach for marketing. Because again, like, and I think that's what they're doing because they've had how many jobs that they've hired for marketing? Now, granted, there is a video out there that is really cool. It was O'Milly showed it before. So it's of the Blackpink. They're all dancing. It's really cool. They're out in AR. It's in the street. Now, this has been posted on and advertised in VeVe Korea, or just in Korea in general. And that's one of those things that was, I think that was done exceedingly well. I put, they should play this video everywhere. Whoever did it did a great job. I shared O'Milly's thing, and it's like O'Milly's code. So like, O'Milly, if you get any signups, congrats. I expect a thank you card. I don't really. And again, they look great. I know there's been a lot of reason to like kind of poke fun at VeVe or like, hey, this ad I saw on Instagram, is it like and it was like one of Metaverse Life's thing for his, VeVe across the world. And it's like, is this like an ad to go to like, I don't even know where it was, like Germany or London or whatever, Ireland? Like, is this a VeVe ad? What is this? But this is the type of thing, like, it's simple, it's short, it shows Blackpink and it shows them dancing. It shows like, it looks, now, is this like the super high end, ones they had last time? No, but honestly, and you'll probably get a poll like half or half. People might like these better because they have more, like the last time, unless you're Blackpink fans, you probably couldn't, if you took away the names, you probably couldn't really tell the difference, between the girls. But like here, they're all dressed in their own style, in different clothes, like they have different moves, and I think they might have the same moves. But it's just the style that they have, that they are, there's a lot more individuality with this. than it was the other one. So I think this would be the type of video that I would post everywhere. And they didn't. Like, they have this incredible video. And again, I'm saying this just, it's my opinion. You could have some other people saying, well, it'd be really cool if you had somebody that did the choreography with them. Okay, that's fine. But for what it is, I love this. And they saved it only for advertising in Korea. And I know a lot of people in Korea speak English, but it's in English and it's not in Korean, bro. And maybe some of this gets lost in translation where, well, actually, this is the beta version that wasn't English. They added Korean subtitles later, or it wasn't Korean, and that's just not this version. And that might be the case as well. And I'm not saying to go in and pay for Facebook ad space or Instagram ad space, because most people ignore that. But why not put this as a short on YouTube? Why not put this as a short on TikTok? I'll go to the VeVe TikTok right now, and I guarantee you it's not on there. Now, if it is, I will eat my words. It is not. Last thing was coma, and I am the only comment, guys. I feel like the fat redhead at the end of the bar. Like, can we please go to the VeVe Digital Collectibles TikTok, 5,200 followers, and tap the bell for notifications, so that when they go in and post something, and it doesn't matter what it is. I have no idea what coma is. I have no idea what these 5 states of mind are for new comic arrivals. But can we please get some motherfucking comments on these socials? Why am I the only one? Why am I the only one working for these bags? 128 people here. Can we get the spread, please? Ugh, I feel like Sergeant Dokes, where Dexter's like walking all over the crime scene. Like, can we please secure this motherfucking crime scene? Like, oh my god, why am I the only one doing this shit? Hey, look at this, DuckTales. Guess who's the only comment from 2 days? Yeah, it's Randy fucking Chavez. Why am I crashing out? I'm sorry. I've been dieting, and I'm on like 400 calories today. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just crashing out over here. I need some calories, maybe some pizza. Aldo Darrow says Blackpink #2 didn't do too well. Hopefully you can turn this into a positive somehow. I mean, it wasn't horrendous. Is it a disappointment? Yeah, sure. But again, it was only half of them. Only half of them had appeared. We have the other half, of Blackpink tomorrow. But yeah, it's just honestly a lot of it's the market. It's rough out there, boys. I was going to stay positive and diversify a bit. Yeah, again, Definity, DEVVE, OMI, and then a little bit of Flow, a little bit of Illuvium, a little bit of I got SHIRO, so daCAT obviously. So Travis Gregory says, "Yo, Randy, yo, what up, Travis? Randy, buy XRP? Nah. And XRP will do really well over the next year, 2 years, 10 years, but the ROIs will be better in altcoins." I was saying, just confirmed on how much YG and Blackpink work closely with VeVe on the collectibles. Collectibles are great. They are very good. And as the bull market gets closer, I guarantee you a lot of these numbers. Well, actually, Blackpink is going to stay here until May 24th. I would have said that eventually, you're going to see those numbers from the store dwindle. But the Blackpink burn is going to happen on May 24th, and I don't believe the market just magically turns around in time for OMI and VeVe to in a month. So they're going to make on this what they're going to make on this the next couple weeks, and on May 24th, it's just going to be secondary from then on. Sketch Labs, hey Randy, what's up everyone? Meow 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 meow. Where was I? Oh god, a lot of comments here today. Vegan says thumbs up, man. Baby Zombie says, yo, what up, Zombie? Breaks Up says, has anyone heard of Start Engine or Vitrux Omni? I have not. Omni Man? Either way, I'm not sure what that is. Aaron says, I wanted all of the secret rares of Blackpink. Problem is they didn't sell enough for the price in secondary to fall to the correct pricing. So basically I want them, but I'm stalemated by a gamble versus overpay. What are they in the secondary? Before I get to what they are in the secondary, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my YouTube channel and I'm going to go in and ask everyone to smash that like button. That is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon. Smash the super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Okay. Let's go to VeVe. Let's go to the market and let's go to some secret rares. See all collectibles. Oh my God, was so slow. Okay, here we go. The Jisoo crystal is $5.99. That is nuts. I wonder if any of those are sold. Guess you can see on Stacker. Okay. There's the common. Floor price is $3.73, and that was for the Jisoo. All right, Jenny. Uncommon is $7 hairs. Can I get a secret rare, please? No, they don't want to show me. All right, hold on. Let me type in Jisoo, and I guarantee a secret rare comes up real quick. There are 9 in the market, and they are 99. I was gonna guess 100. It's $99 hairs. So yeah, it's a lot. Omar saying the Trader Joe mini tote isn't just New York City; it's international and very big for Japan and South Korea. Ooh, very nice, very nice. I gotta take a look at that. Aaron says, because 100 gems for Secret Rare Jisoo is way too much when you buy her gold version for that much. It's also true. And yeah, it's hard because it's like 1 in 12 or 1 out of 11 will get the Secret Rare. And just because it's 1 out of 11 doesn't mean that every single 11th one, you could pull for like 20 of them and still not get it. I did that on like the Tiger stamps where I was paying $6. I could have just paid like the $30 or $40 for the Tiger stamp Secret Rare. But I wound up spending like hundreds of dollars trying to get that, and that made me never do that again. So yeah, I understand. I was saying uncommon are the most special ones. Justin Y mentioned, yeah, as they dancing, right? There she was, just all things. Doctor Strange, what's going on, fam? How's it going? All things strange. 100. Omar, yeah. When you're dancing, it's awesome. Potential human says like, thumb pressed, preparing greetings to humans. Meow, meow, meow. Greetings, humans, and greetings, senor. Sorry, I have all these messages I haven't gotten to yet. All things strange. And why would they tell them to use the N-word knowing they don't know English? Diabolical work, hashtag the industry. Yeah, bro, yeah. Now, granted, 2 of the girls I think did know English at the time, but if the tryouts for Blackpink, if the label is making you do that, yeah, yeah. Should they have said it anyway? Probably not. Probably could have skipped that up. But again, when you're like 16, 18, and the label's making you do something, yeah, it could have been the SPIC, where I would have given them a pass on that. But I'm not black, so I cannot give them that pass. But yeah, it's wild times. Aaron says those videos were most likely just for training purposes, never to be seen by public. Well, yeah, it was an ex-employee that was very, very, what's it called? Like a disgruntled employee. And understand that in context for them to get the rap attitude. Yeah. But it says, VeVe app is mostly middle-aged men, so why would people think Blackpink would do well? I mean, they are the most popular girl band in like the world. So just based on just supply and demand, like, hey, eventually when people go in and they get in here, they're going to want these. So probably like that, but also the fact that they were like part of the reasons to get licensing is not to sell to your existing clients that is shrinking. It's to onboard the fans of that particular license. But just that has been one of the most difficult things in NFTs is to onboard the people that are fans of those licenses. So again, that's the goal. Says Lisa is busy today at Coachella. I bet she is. She's got a lot of stuff that's going on. Everyone wants her. Everyone loves her. All things strange says millions of followers between each girl. Looks like we haven't captured even 1%. Lots of more marketing. Well, that's the thing. Like they shared them They had that big video, and they all shared the video on their own personal Instagrams last time, and the official Blackpink TikTok page. You know, like Thor says to Loki after he asks her, like, "Hey, can you just, hit Hela with a lightning bolt?" He's like, "I just hit her with the biggest lightning bolt in the history of lightning bolts, and it did nothing." Like, and again, if that costs money, and VeVe sees, okay, they did it last time, it onboarded what, like 200 users. If they did that last, like, they're not. If it costs a lot of money, they're not going to have them do that again, especially when now it's a worse market than it was, because there wasn't this giant trade war going on. So we wouldn't hear from Blackpink today. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I expect that probably. Jenny performs tomorrow. Ooh, Jenny performs tomorrow. Get that bread. Job was not only hard but risky and expensive with no definitive payoff. Yeah, I mean, if you get the crystal or you get the secret, it works. But if you're trying for the airdrop, you don't know what the airdrop is. And again, there's no phygital aspect. We think maybe there's a phygital one if you get the airdrop, and I really want that secret rare. Sad face. Sorry, AA, wrong. Sorry, fam. Meow. I know, I get it. DB Crypto saying join daCAT. All right, I got to get to the news. I have not gotten to most of the news here yet today, so we're gonna try that. But first, I'm gonna go to J Cool Cat SHIRO saying Randy. I'm gonna give him a couple of smiley faces. Yeah, let's get to the news because it's been I've talked for 51 minutes without getting there. Okay, let's. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Sorry. They did this thing with India, Blackpink, humanoids. Every now and then Pokemon does these things where they'll say, like, remember my super cool Rattata? My Rattata is different from regular Rattata. It's like my Rattata is a top percentage of all Rattata. That's just a reference from back in the day. Like it's either the first or second generations. Like my Rattata is in the top percentage of all Rattata. Every now and then PCs will be like, I like shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear. And Pokemon will go and do that every now and then on their Facebook, on their socials. I just thought that was fun. Top Fed official says the Federal Reserve is ready to help stabilize the market if needed. White House says President Trump is open to making a deal with China. Agreed. Mr. MC1 says, are you a VeVe millenary? With 1,000 of an item or more? I answered no, because I don't. But he has over 1,000 MC1 comics, which is nuts. I don't think anyone else answered that. Anyone is a millennial, maybe except for like Dr. Prophet or for the Zojman, Dr. Fuse, a couple of those guys maybe. Pastoral says the last 4 years have been a whirlwind journey filled with ups, downs, and lessons learned, but I wouldn't change a thing. It's an honor to be part of such a passionate and dedicated community who believe in what is being built, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. It was his 4-year anniversary yesterday. I love that man. That man has 229 full sets, level 82, with 214 comics. Guys, AI is weird. AI is strange. Been telling some AI about some dreams that I've been having, and yeah. Anyway, you have Ginferno saying, looks like I joined the day before you, Foster. I still have fun almost daily with VeVe. I really like reading all the different comics they have. Fun. Keep up the good work. I think it's awesome that you were able to join the team. Foster Hill says, happy anniversary to you as well. Love Ginferno. Oh God, hiccups. Emoji says, this is how you walk into an X space like a king. The crown was destined. The aura farming immaculate. Live on the Oasis Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Spaces. And Ben Rose had comment official emoji. Do we need to stage a royal intervention? Hilarious. Speaking of VeVe, yeah, VeVe Magic saying, join me and Yostef for the next Disney event in the VeVe official Discord on April 17th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out the info below. We'd love to see you share your favorite Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, and Pixar physical collectibles. There will be a digital collectible giveaway. Oh, speaking of which, I have to do do I have to do a giveaway? I think I do have to do a VeVe giveaway. When's the last time I messaged my collectibles? Yes, I do. Okay, so we're gonna do a giveaway. I should get to the rest of the comments first before I do it. Whole crew is there with family. Awesome. I have 2 friends there at Coachella. One is ambassador, and the other has friends to be backstage. As a fidget will make less and less sense now that the tariffs are blowing up. I mean, if you have them, like, I think it's fine if you're not selling them, if you're just giving them away. Exactly. Hype is always better than mystery in this economy. Mystery potential upside isn't really enticing versus knowing what you're getting into. Agreed. Potential human is to hit the chase common of all four with one blind box purchase of each. Oh yeah, that's obviously not going to happen. Not over 9.2 million to one. We are saying really the problem with backing is their fan base is not here. We need Asia. Yeah, agreed. I would love, like, what's the point of getting Alibaba if you're not going to use them to onboard? What's the point? Like, now again, you probably want to have the app in a bit better shape before you onboard Asians, because they might not, you know, they might not tolerate slowness of a certain app. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Again, it's easy for me to say, like, come on, can we just roll it out to Asia? Can we just get some of them on? Like, I don't know. I imagine all these conversations Justin Y is having with them, saying like, hey, here's what I think will work. And again, if there's anyone you want to listen to over in Asia, it's probably going to be Justin Y. And I guess a mix between him and David as well. So again, I'm sure these conversations are being had. But yeah, I would love to get Asia on board. Omar saying mostly the younger gen are the blinks. That is true. A lot of young people. Says it's not only Asia here in the USA is a huge fan of. Yeah, I mean, like it's. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but when there's an average of like 700 to 900 people on the app on any given day, this is in April, it market anywhere. But again, it's like, how do you get people to do it? It's very, very hard. Again, the one thing they have not tried that worked last time was pumping the token. Token pumps, VeVe pumps. They've tried dozens of other things for VeVe now, and again, got to give credit where credit is due. They're trying, and at some point something's going to work. But wouldn't it be curious if the one thing that did work to increase the number of users on VeVe was the token? Again, that's what worked last time. Obviously, you still have that lawsuit that's going on, so they probably can't do that right now. Well, they can't do it, but maybe if other influencers were paid on their, again, they probably wouldn't want that. They probably would want to wait until that lawsuit is over. I mean, the case like ended in December, yet for some reason, oh God, New Zealand sucks, where they have to wait like 4 months. Like when are we going to get that? Like, why is their court system so freaking slow? I don't know. Maybe they get a ruling in this month in April. Maybe it's in May. Maybe it's just, dude, I don't know. Like, what happens if Ben Gudenzi goes in and puts out another lawsuit on the NFTs this time, like that account said he was going to do? Do you have to endure this for another year? Dude, I don't know. My Vampire says that Bill Gardner, that's the bottom line answer. Hopefully it's part of a longer term strategy to bring in more women in Asia. Timing is just weird. Yeah, it's hard because you still have to operate as a business. You still need to do drops. You still need to make money. But this market is just a motherfucker. And it's just so hard to do anything in this market. Yeah, it's hard. All things strange says it's not just that difficult to onboard them, it's that they marketed with no breathing room, no real cross promotional support, and what little was shown was words from the girls and no product visual. That's also fair. That's a fair point. Good call. Good call. And we're saying tickets sold out in the upcoming tour. Oh heck yeah. Oh heck yeah. All right. I have to listen. I got to go get some of this news done here, and then we'll get back to that, and then we'll do a VeVe giveaway. Elemental NFT 2020, whose account is valued at $127,000, got the Scotty Young one of ones. So cool. That's like Ken Sugimori artwork right there. That is so cool. Elemental NFT 2020 has 3,318 collectibles, 2,282 comics. Beast mode. Ash Crypto says Bitcoin is preparing for next ride, and we should keep an eye on these two indicators on weekly chart. Weekly moving average 50-week moving average has become strong support for Bitcoin in previous bull markets. Weekly RSI 44 in every bull cycle, RSI becomes support and bounces multiple times. In this cycle, also RSI is becoming strong support. We will see a big move in Bitcoin, and we can see 180,000 to 250,000 by the end of 2025. Strong words from Ash Crypto Real. Strong words. We'll see what happens. We're not sure. There's a U.S. consumer confidence that has fallen to a 45-year low as of yesterday. Trump signs resolution to repeal IRA. Okay, I've run over that. SEC Binance asked judge to extend pause in ongoing case. Nice. They will never take Aunt Jemima away from me. President Trump says the U.S. dollar will go way up, stronger than ever. Maybe. President Trump says something positive will come out with China. I'm sure it will. Went down the rabbit hole yesterday on Roblox. Roblox does not currently use or support NFTs, but David is now following Roblox over on X. Maybe VeVe could be the first. There is supposed to be something the end of next month that's supposed to be a first of its kind. Maybe it's Roblox. We'll see. Finance met with Treasury Department to look at curbing U.S. oversight over firm, also mulling deal with Trump family crypto venture. Nothing strange. This drop cost promo marketing should have been at least a month out and stop hiding the best parts like animations. Mystery doesn't equal buy anymore. So that was a great video and all. Will be better when the girls are in it with collectibles and their phones. That would be top level. That would definitely be. I agree. That'd be dope. Regardless of Planet Vampire, yeah, I would have went for the drop if I was into them, but just so many other things I'm into. Agreed. I'm going for more on DBZ, bro. Yeah, DBZ would be pretty dope. I think that would do pretty well. Man, I need some food. Thinking about it now, I probably had like 600 to 800 calories today. I need a bit more. I'm so fat though, bro. I'm so fat, boys. Saw it yesterday in the face, and I was like, oh my goodness. So today my back was just fudged today, so I couldn't even go like for a walk. So I just did a bunch of chin ups. Yeah, DBZ would be dope. DBZ would be dope. All right, moving on. More stuff here. Binance founder CZ gave evidence against Justin Sun as part of a DOJ plea deal. Wall Street Journal claims. The cat token is king again of the Memezilla page. Mr. MC1 says Blackpink on VeVe 12th and 13th April. Hey Blackpink, after this epic vid and message to VeVe fans, so glad you're back in 2025 with your second drop on VeVe Official. Thank you, YG Official Blink. Real ready, ladies. And Comey, Stacker World, Cavernous, Ladies Aboard 8 Yacht Club, World of Women XYZ, Women X VeVe, 8 Jin Mom, 8 Jin Magazine, LFG Girls, I Justine, Crypto Wendy, Randy Zuckerberg, Gary V, Real Miss NFT, Irene Zhao, and 100 Girls in Gen AI. He tags a lot of people. I have Base Mega following me now. I got to shill some daCAT and SHIRO to him yesterday, but I was not able to shill OMI. That is the next thing that I will shill to that man. Shout out to Crypto Kimber 95. Damn, she's young. Shout out to Crypto Kimber 95. She's 30. I'm just older. Anyone that's younger than me is like, oh damn, you're young. Community manager for Ladies on Soul. She will be on the last seat that I host with All Dolled Up from Sharby on Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tariff. It's great tariff debate. People keep sending me this. The liquor's calling the shots now, Randy. Lar says, me and Zombie are coming up with a plan for Korean users. We're going to start subtitling using AI to translate our videos to the E2 Korean. Dude, there's a lot of South Koreans in Earth 2 already. You guys will do really well with that if that takes off. Oh my God. Dude, my eye's been hurting all day. And the last time this happened, I had to wear an eye patch and I had to massage my glands for a couple minutes per day because it's like a glandular issue. It was rough. Using AI to translate our videos to the E2 Korean community, then hopefully they will flow into our other projects. Agreed. You've earned this. What have I earned? I don't know what I've earned. And Blackpink dropped music on VeVe and how that probably not. Probably not. I don't know how that would work. Seems like it'd be very complicated. And again, like, okay, like it's cool to have like a Ron English jukebox and Ron English CDs, and you play the CD. If you really want to hear music, you just rip it from YouTube. You know, like I can't picture a 15-year-old that loves Blackpink wanting to buy a jukebox and then buy separately a Blackpink like record so they could put on there so they could listen to it on there when they could just rip it on YouTube, stream it on YouTube, Spotify, whatever. Um, yeah, it's hard. Maybe like if they did a virtual concert for V, but like how much would that cost? Like that would cost so much. Ngara says they were in our chat saying we wish you made Korean videos. Get that bread. Petrol Human says you've earned the right to vent, human brother person. Your efforts are appreciated. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I honestly, it's not at this point. It's not really worth it for me to like again. I don't see anyone else doing that, and it's like if I'm the only one doing. And now, granted, that's on TikTok, and multiple people comment on Instagram, multiple people comment on X, obviously, and on YouTube. But it's like, man, yeah, that's rough. That's hard. And fans, hey Randy, I would love to see VeVe do a referral program like a Disney Pinnacle does. The new user you refer spends $6.99 on a starter bundle. Both you and the new user get $25 in free Dapper credit. I mean, they do kind of have that like a referral program for VeVe, where it's every person that you get signed up, and they spend like $15 or $20, whatever, in the store. You get 10, 15, or $20 per referral, depending on how many you do. And I'm not gonna lie, like because most of my network was already in VeVe, like there's no reason for me to really try to do that again. But now, DEVVE's doing that, and I signed up 21 people for the exchange, and that's gonna be the gift that keeps on giving. Can't wait for that. Maybe Wheels says, "Yo, Randy, always glad to see you, homie. What's up, Wheels? How's it going, fam? Miss you, fam. Made a killing on Toshi. Yo, get that bread. Get it, get it. Go Wheels, go Wheels. Started by OMI again, heading for 50 million. Get it, get it. Oh, I'm very happy for you. You're gonna be so rich in the future." I was saying, kind of unbelievable. VeVe didn't mention his goals. I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what he did in the previous year. He just scammed everyone, and he tried to scam Earth too, and he kind of got them a little bit, but not nearly as bad as Vivian Nakomi, obviously. Obviously, they're super careful now. Anywho, let's do this giveaway, shall we? Yeah, whoever answers this and it comments it down, and I see it first, will win the VeVe giveaway. What song was I singing at the beginning of this video? I repeat, what song was I singing at the beginning of this video live stream? Whoever comments the correct title down below will win the VeVe giveaway. I don't know what it is. It could be a comic, could be a crazy awesome collectible, could be a not so great collectible, could be a crazy rare comic, could be a secret rare comic. We have no idea. But whoever can tell me the name of the song that I was singing at the beginning of this live stream. Oh, wow. Dirk Latte, they got that really quick. Yep, Jug and Me is you. Dirk Latte, message me on X your VeVe username, and I will make sure that you get this week's giveaway. Clap it up for Dirk Latte. My man. You got that super quick. Oh, my bae. Oh, I'm sorry. Anywho, $1 billion USDT was just minted yesterday at the Tether Treasury. And again, Dirk Latte messaged me on X, por favor. Kathy Woods, ARK Invest, bought $11.3 million worth of Bitcoin yesterday. Whales do be buying. No, I wasn't that one. I love that song, though. Bill, I love you so, always will. Oh my God, am I ever going to see my wedding day? Yeah, unfortunately, D Nice, you are correct, but Dirk Latte got it. He got it. He got it like a minute or two ago. But D Nice, I give you a virtual gold star there. But Dirk Latte, send me your info. Bill Gardner, how's it going? Damn, my body's freaking falling apart. It's done. Anywho, let's continue on, shall we? Outside of ARK Invest buying $11.3 million worth of Bitcoin, BlackRock bought $6.4 million worth of ETH, and Trump's World Liberty bought $5 million worth of SEI. Something big is cooking behind the scenes. President Trump exempts smartphones, computers, and chips from new tariffs. President Trump just authorized the Department of Defense to militarize the Roosevelt Reservation along the U.S. border in California, Arizona, and New Mexico. This means a 60-foot buffer zone on a 700-mile stretch of our border will now be considered military property, and troops can seize illegals to hand to Border Patrol. Translation, he just activated the military to completely shut down the invasion of our southern border. Let's go. I went over the DEVVE stuff. I guess now for I guess they're some of their favorite parts of the stream is going to go on X. Oh god, messages. I don't have. It's Gia on VeVe. Okay, copy. Let me get a. Right. Gia on VeVe. I'm going to. Oh god, I X out of X. All right, I am going to go to my collectibles and tell him, show him this picture, and say, Gia is the name on the account of this week's giveaway. Well, I guess it's not the name on your account. Is the name of the VeVe account of this week's giveaway. And it is sent. Thank you. All right, now that I'm on X, let's go in and see what people are talking about. You have Crypto Cosmo saying, this is one of the top reasons why I believe VeVe will be incredibly successful. The builders and the community will continue elevating the project just as it has from the beginning. Sky's the limit. He had requoted Howard Russell's stuff from 5 days ago. However, Howard Russell had an update to that today. Oh, did he? Oh, I thought it was today. Maybe it wasn't. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I thought I saw it today, but I guess I didn't. Anyway, let's go to my For You page. Elon Musk, 20 hours ago, the pronouns will be going to be going away. That was silly. Crypto's talking about meme coins. Bowza says, look, I'm all for creators monetizing their content, but if you are fooling your clients with fake metrics and boosted posts, then you are doing more damage than good. In my opinion, these types of creators care more about the numbers and less about their reputation. I don't know if this is a case of laziness or lack of determination to create an organic following, but this does need to be addressed. Agreed. I've never boosted my numbers. I've never done any of those things. It's all what you get is what you see is what you get. My boy Arya on X, such a cool lad. Smoker. Oh god, meat sounds so good. Some Doge Millionaire says you can only hold crypto back for so long. ... Andy Leon says memes are not just characters; it is a unity of like-minded community geniuses. Is it geniuses? I don't know if I can agree with that. Connor, hi Connor. Good friend. Terrible an hour ago says, anyone else notice this algo feels very off? I never see posts from people I follow. Comment so I see you. I'll give her a meow. Love her. Josh Emmett says, if your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. That little picture of Muhammad Ali running. Gotta love Josh. Ode Osborne says, we don't just roll cigars, we roll legacy, crafted by warriors, smoked by kings. Welcome to the best cigars, designed by fighters, built for legends, Funk Master MMA. It's awesome. Joey Swallow says, stop filming in gym locker. Why do people film in gym locker rooms? When I want to hit someone, I won't do it, but oh my God, yeah. daCAT token is once again the top winner of today on Memezilla. Hey, Bill Gardner says, what have we learned about Mr. DNA this week? I want to share this thought and revelation before we enter a new week. And new profound things distract us from the previous mountain of information. It starts with incredible dire wolves. Oh, yes. Yes, it does. Dire wolves are a thing again. My body is dead. My eye is dead. Shoulder is dead. Very creative. Get your VeVe efficient. Yes, very good. V says, don't expect engagement to come to you if you're not willing to engage with others. Great. Good call. Good call. Star Dogs had a space today. They always have a space on Saturdays, and I always miss it. Dr. Rhonda Patrick says, sedentary behavior is itself a disease, carrying mortality risks comparable to or even exceeding those associated with smoking, hypertension, and type 2 diabetes. Having low fitness raises the risk of mortality by more than 400% compared to having an elite level of fitness. Even average and below average levels of fitness are associated with higher mortality. For comparison, smoking, diabetes, and coronary artery disease carry a 29 to 41% greater mortality risk compared to not having these diseases. Cardiorespiratory fitness is not just nice to have, it's one of the most powerful predictors of longevity, stronger than many traditional risk factors, and it's modifiable. This message is clear. Get moving. I love her, so I'm going to give her some hearts. She's a good lady. She's a good egg. Can I offer you a perfectly good egg in these trying times? Oops, I dropped my Magnum condom that I use for my Magnum. Your eye isn't looking good, brother. I know. I've had this type of thing before where I just got to massage it to secrete the oils from the gland. Maybe I need a good cry. Maybe I need to I don't know, it's the last thing I cried at. Um, uh, I need to watch like soldiers coming home from like a deployment or something. I don't know, but yeah, I need somehow to like flush out the glands. And massaging can only work so. I think if you have like a warm heat compress, like a washcloth or whatever on it, it actually does feel better already by just doing that lightly. But I mean, I wash my hands before here, but okay. Anyway, we'll keep that there for right now. Naya Bukele talking about some great partnerships. Oh, he's at Joint Base Andrews? He's at Andrews. Or he was 50 minutes ago. Nobu says, good morning, DGens. OMGina says, hope you're having a great day. And she's flipping us off. She is flipping us off, but that is great. Agavoy says, my account right now on X is heavily suppressed this weekend. Can we have a country? We have a country to save. Can you see this post? I don't even follow that dude. DEVVE Exchange says, meet Paul Bureau from Banque de Lubac, our esteemed banking partner, as he shares why they're teaming up with DEVVE Digital to power the future of finance. And you have Eddie Brown saying, National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day is here. Oh. And nothing melts nostalgia like a VeVe collectible. Whether it's Coca-Cola or a chill Marvel Mighty, celebrate with comfort, food, and digital fun. New users get 10 free gems worth $10. VeVe affiliate link, and he posts it. VeVe is digital collectibles platform where users can buy, sell, display licensed NFTs, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's really cool. National Grilled Cheese Day. Let's go from my For You page to my following and see what people are saying there. Likely to get, oh, you have Richard VeVe. Oh, that's so cool. Almost perfectly in sync. When your hair's okay, yeah. You have Kaki Gaijin saying, "Oh my God, look at her butt." Oh my God, I love it. Yeah, it was really dope. Really, they got the little stage over there. What's that stage made out of? Is that made out of Legos? Pretty heckin' sweet. Dude, AI has gotten too crazy. Bill Gardner says, I love this project. Imagine not being a part of it. What a miss that would be. Called Eon Rift. Eon Rift has 33,000 followers, a new digital collectibles IP by Larry Greer, Hollywood creative director behind Avatar 1 through 5, Mad Max and more, and Tom Waltz, New York Times bestselling author. Interesting. Maron Awful says, Falcon 9 sends Starlink 12 to 17 to orbit and sticks the landing. Very good, Elon. Holmar's Catalog says, in Indigo right now, staying at Airbnb and had a neighbor also renting knock on my door and asked if he could use my mobile connector because his Model Y was at 4% battery remaining. I told him he could borrow it until tonight so he can make it to a charger. What a good lad. Someone named Lena saying, the dog community needs encouragement. I will give away 10,000 dog to a follower. That is pretty cool. I don't know how much 10,000 dog is, but she's doing it. Jisoo Uncommon Floor was $12, so he gambled for it. And Oh my God, he got the diamond? Bruh. Oh my God, that's amazing. Bro. That's incredible. Wow. 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 Dude, good for him. He deserves it. Kaki Gaijin's such a good dude. Like Jisoo Uncommon Floor is $12. I gambled for it and got the diamond. Oh my God, what a mad lad. Wait, is that what he was showing off for? Was it the diamond? No, it wasn't the diamond. I wonder, but that's still so freaking cool. That is so dope. Oh, Miss Gecko got it too. Good for you, Miss Gecko. Flight attendant indicted in attempt to record teen girl in airplane. Oh my God, just Jesus, dude. Shoot that man. Shoot him right in the face. Shoot him right in the, you know what I mean. Cut out his tongue, then shoot his tongue. La, la, la. China deports British MP, no critics allowed. Where Hobhouse flew 13 hours to Hong Kong to meet her newborn grandson. Instead, she got grilled, searched, and sent home. No hug, no explanation. Chinese officials detained the 65-year-old MP at passport control, likely because she criticized Beijing's human rights abuses. I'm not gonna lie, I do that. Curiously, her husband was let in. She got escorted out. Britain's foreign security secretary is calling it deeply concerning, where it calls it what it was: cruel, heartless, and completely unnecessary. Yeah, Beijing's got horrible human rights issues. There, I said it. Never go into that country. Yeah, it's wild. Vivek Ramaswamy saying, an electrical engineering student at the University of Dayton asked me tonight about the crippling costs she's facing against a difficult wage market. The right answer is increased supply of housing, energy, and everything else that matters. Trump, Elon, and Little X pull up to UFC 341. That's awesome. With so many big names lined up, UFC 341 is set to be an unforgettable night, and Trump, Elon, and Little X pull up. That's awesome. That's dope. King Cobra bites Python, Python restricts Cobra, and Cobra gets crushed to death. That is heckin' wild. Python dies from Cobra's venom. Bro, that's insane. Tom Waltz is writer for TMNT, and Last Ronin. Love that. Can I dream the day where all these IPs mention VeVe on the same day? Bro, I would love that more than you know. I would love that. Maybe as much as you. But yeah, we can all dream, right? We can all dream. We can all dream. Oh my God, my VV Magic says, this guy, official emoji, has me working on weekends on a fandom that I don't even understand. Say Toot Fam got something new and interesting cooking. No idea what that is, but damn. Keep it up. Damn, good for you, Kaki Gaijin. Getting that secret rare Blackpink 240. Good for you. Whole Mars Catalog says the market expects their earnings to grow dramatically in the future as Tesla AI scales up. The business is at an inflection point. If you're trying to value it based on trailing earnings, you're going to have a bad time. Now, Bukele lands in U.S. Trump meeting coming up. Denny Park, SpaceX, Myron Awful saying Russia isn't just taking land; it's trying to delete Ukraine. Inside Russian-occupied Ukraine, even celebrating a holiday can get you in trouble. Speaking Ukrainian, risky. Using a Russian passport, say goodbye to healthcare and cell service. Women in the occupied zone say they're watched, silenced, and punished for speaking to family, refusing loyalty oaths, or handing out leaflets. One was just jailed for talking to her brother in the army. As peace talks heat up, some fear the world might hand Russia the land it's already using to erase Ukrainian identity. That is wild. Russia unleashes 88 drones on Ukraine, Kiev, Kharkov, Dnipro hit. Ukrainian air defenses intercepted 56 and redirected 24 more using electronic warfare. But some still got through. In Kiev, 3 people were injured, a private home was destroyed, and commercial buildings were set ablaze. Fires broke out across the capital. Kharkiv reported 1 more civilian wounded, and damage was also confirmed. Dnipropetrovsk and Odessa. Odessa just keep getting wrecked. Glenn Jacobs says, thank you all for standing with us. Love you, Glenn Jacobs. New drug kills off secret cholesterol your salad can't touch. There's a stealth cholesterol called LPA, hiding in your blood. You can't sweat it out, jog it off, or lettuce your way past it. It's genetic. If you've got it, you've got it. 1 in 4 people do. But now scientists have cooked up a shot that tells your body to stop making it altogether. One jab and it's almost 100% gone. Your kale smoothies feeling nervous. I don't know if I would trust that just as of yet, but that's just me. Jesus, that is horrible. Sorry. Moving on here. All right, that's gonna be it for me today. My eye is dying, and unless anyone has any last things, I'm gonna. Oh shoot. Let's just check one more time on the crypto and see what it's doing since the beginning of this. OMI is back down 2% to 0000208. Not sure what that happened. Yeah, just wicked spikes up and then wicked spike down. So not the greatest. Well, we might see 0001s again. Who knows? SHIRO up 7% on the day though, to $11.6 million market cap with 2.1 million in volume. Now let's take a look at the cat again one more time. One more time. I said, I'm sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. 1,700 in volume. I never up 1%. Make you cry, but tonight cleaning out my closet. All right, DEVVE is at 70 cents, up about 2%. And yeah, there's not a lot of volume. Yeah, it's 383,000 in volume. Let's take a look at the Definity. I know I went over that before. Up 4.5%, 2.2 cents. Not much going on there. Bill says meow. Chocolate says, what are your thoughts on the David space the other day? I unfortunately was not able to listen, and I was not able to get a direct update on the, hey, can someone give me like a recap? I just wasn't able to do it, to get a listen to it. So unfortunately, that's something that I don't have access to. Maybe I will in a, hold on. Oh, shoot. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Oh, it's all one thing. Oh, cute girl. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Not bad. Not bad. 2 days ago, first, I'm gonna cut. Get that bread, girl. Sorry. Message from the. Yeah, I mean, it's always a good time when David speaks. It's always fun to just hear him talk. But unfortunately, I was not able to. So as he said, Mutaris, a lot more IPs went to speak with David. That is interesting. I guess it's easier to sell digital stuff than it is to sell physical in that aspect. So I guess the tariffs are good for VeVe in that respect. Um, and this might be what's needed to get because some people are scared. Some of these companies are just like, no, I don't want to do it. Some of these companies are just like, I'm scared of NFTs. I'm scared of Web3. I don't understand it. Oh, shoot. I actually feel a not good thing down here. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just need to secrete the oils more. Ugh, fudge. Feel better. Thanks, man. I'll do another 90 seconds so we get up to 90 minutes here. Mukele has landed. Yeah, he like 15 minutes ago he landed. So I'm very, very happy about that. Love that he's doing that. Let's keep going on X a little bit more. Being real with you, posting. ICE locked up a scientist over frog embryos. A Russian Harvard researcher brought frog embryos back from France and forgot to check the box at the airport. She fled Russia after being arrested for protesting the war in Ukraine. And now she's in a freezing jail cell in Louisiana. She studied cell division, not bombs, not viruses, frogs. ICE says she's a threat, but 17 senators disagree. I mean, if it was just frog, unless the stuff that frogs can do, I don't know. I don't think. ICE chief says deportation should run like Amazon. Acting ICE director Ty Lyron says the Trump administration is aiming to overhaul the deportation logistics by mimicking the precision of Amazon and FedEx. Speaking at a border security conference in Phoenix, Lyons argued ICE's removal operations are effective, but overwhelmed by court backlogs and overcrowded detention centers. Wild. Tesla should get a tariff exemption on their auto imports since all their cars sold in the U.S. are built in the United States. Agreed. What are your thoughts on crypto as a whole right now? Beginning of a bear? No, just getting it's not. I mean, you could make the argument that, well, China can keep this up for many more moons, and it's going to depend on how long China can keep it up for. How long can they resist coming to the table, making a deal? I think over the next 2 to 3 months, all of these other countries that are already falling in line, starting to go to the U.S. and be like, okay, here's what we can do. Let's stop this madness. And if China's the last one, so there is a real possibility that most of the other stuff that is made in China might be going over and being made in Taiwan or Thailand or Indonesia or India, and then some of it maybe gets to the U.S. And we get a couple of companies making products here. And I mean, it wasn't always like this. Even like 30 something years ago, when China was not in the WTO, it was just a lot better. Obviously, it was one of Clinton's biggest mistakes to be able to add China to that. It's possible that you see at the end of this, they're both just separate from each other. They kind of leave each other alone. They might not do much business with each other anymore if it's all done through other places. But we'll see. I mean, China likes to make this retort that like, well, we've been around for 5,000 years. U.S. hasn't existed for a fraction of that. We'll be fine without the U.S. But a lot of the reason that they got built the way they're built now is because of trade with the U.S. is because of their coming in the WTO, and it's very silly to think that we existed before you, but now that we rely on you for a lot of our GDP, we could just exist without you now. We'll just go back to the way it was. I feel like the Joker when he says there is no going back. You've changed things. Like it's completely changed. It's completely different. It's like that episode of Buffy where that demon is like, no man-made forged weapon can kill me. And Buffy with a rocket launcher is like, that was then. This is now. And then she launches a rocket launcher at the dude. It's like, yeah, okay, no man-made forged weapon could have killed you in the 1700s, but they didn't have freaking rocket launchers then. It's like, yeah, China survived without the U.S. because there wasn't any other global superpower. I mean, there was multiple other ones, but there wasn't this behemoth of a superpower a world away that is just sucking the liquidity out of everything else because of all that we do, because we have the best markets, we're the richest country. So I don't think that this is like the beginning of the bear and the bull runs over. But yeah, it is probably going to suck for the next couple of months. There's so much winning. Yeah, we are not having fun now, and we might not for several months, but I think at some point we do. We shall see. And even just right now, Bitcoin just it's up to 86,000. I think this continues until we get I think it continues until Sunday night. And what could we reach by Sunday night? I don't know. But then on Sunday night, it'll probably dump, causing everyone to pick it up cheap in the Monday market. Yeah. So anyway, that'll be it for me today. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone, smash that like button, por favor. And then let's let's end this, right? Everyone, say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi, I love you. Everyone pray for my eye. Comment F down below to pay respects. These eyes I've seen.